You already know something is wrong. You can feel it before they finish speaking. Their story sounds normal, but something inside you does not relax. Their words say one thing, their face says another, and instead of stopping them, instead of saying, "I know you are lying," you stay quiet. You let them talk. You listen to every detail. You notice the pauses. You notice the extra explanation. You notice the way they avoid one simple question. And the strange part is, you are not waiting because you need the truth. A part of you already knows the truth. You are waiting to see what they will do with it. You are waiting to see if they will respect you enough to be honest. That moment can feel very lonely because on the outside you look calm, but inside your mind is moving fast. You are asking yourself, am I wrong? Am I imagining this? Should I say something? Should I wait? And while they keep talking, your brain keeps collecting small pieces of proof. This is not just overthinking. This is a pattern your brain learned for a reason. People who notice lies often became good at reading small signs because at some point they had to. Maybe you dealt with people who denied things even when the truth was clear. Maybe you were made to feel guilty for asking questions. Maybe someone lied to you before, and when you trusted them, it hurt you. So your brain learned a new rule. Do not react too fast. Watch first. Listen first. Let the person reveal themselves. That is why you wait for the lie. Not because you are weak, not because you enjoy pain, but because your brain is trying to protect you from being fooled again. The brain is built to predict danger, not only danger like fire, accidents, or physical harm. It also predicts emotional danger, rejection, betrayal, being used, being blamed, being made to feel stupid for trusting someone. When someone's words do not match their behavior, your brain feels a warning. It is like hearing a song where one note is wrong. Most people may not notice it, but your mind hears it immediately. The voice is too calm. The answer is too fast. The story has too many details. The apology does not feel like care. The smile does not reach the eyes. Your brain sees the gap between what they say and what they show. That gap creates tension, and the brain hates unfinished patterns. It wants the full picture, so it keeps watching. It keeps waiting. It says, "Let them speak more." The truth will show itself. This is why you may stay silent even when you already know. Your silence is not empty. Your silence is a test. You are not only asking, did they lie? You are asking, who are they when telling the truth is hard? That question matters because the truth tells you what happened, but the lie tells you who they are trying to protect. Are they protecting the relationship, or are they protecting their image? Are they afraid of hurting you, or are they only afraid of getting caught? That is why the lie can feel more painful than the truth. The truth may hurt once, but the lie hurts twice. First, because something bad happened. Second, because they looked at you and decided you did not deserve honesty. And that is the part your nervous system remembers. Your body may become calm, quiet, and cold. You may not cry right away. You may not yell. You may just sit there and listen. But inside, something is changing. Your trust is moving backward. Your mind is taking notes. Your heart is stepping away. This happens because the brain connects safety with consistency. When someone is honest, even when the truth is uncomfortable, the brain can still feel some safety. It says, "This hurts, but at least reality is clear." But when someone lies, reality becomes unstable. Now your brain has to do extra work. It has to read tone, check timing, compare stories, remember past details, look for hidden meaning. This is called mental load, and mental load is exhausting. A relationship that should feel safe starts to feel like an investigation. You stop feeling like a partner, friend, or loved one. You start feeling like a detective, and no one can feel peaceful while they are always looking for clues. But here is the deeper truth. Your brain may not be trying to find perfect proof. It may be trying to avoid the pain of acting on what you already know, because knowing the truth creates a choice. If you admit what you know, you may have to set a boundary. You may have to leave. You may have to change how much access that person has to you. You may have to accept that someone you cared about chose dishonesty. That is painful, so sometimes waiting for the lie gives you more time before the decision, more time before the loss, more time before you have to say, "I cannot keep pretending this is okay." This is why the pattern can become addictive, not in a happy way, in a survival way. Your brain learns that waiting feels safer than confronting. If staying quiet helped you avoid conflict before, your brain remembers that. If watching carefully helped you find the truth before, your brain remembers that too. The brain repeats what once protected it, even when that same habit later hurts you. This is how many emotional patterns work. They begin as protection. Then they become prison. At first, watching people closely helps you survive confusion. Later, it can make every relationship feel unsafe. At first, waiting for the lie helps you learn who someone is. Later, it can make you doubt even honest people. So the goal is not to stop noticing. Your ability to notice is not the problem. The problem begins when you abandon yourself after noticing, when you keep asking for more proof, when you keep giving another chance, not because they earned it, but because you are scared of what the truth means. The first thing to do is separate what you feel from what you see. Do not shame your intuition, but do not let fear write the whole story either. Ask yourself, what did I feel? Then ask, what did I actually observe? Maybe you felt they were hiding something. What did you observe? They changed the topic. They gave a different answer than before. They became angry when you asked a simple question. They made you feel guilty for wanting clarity. Now your mind has structure. This helps because the thinking part of your brain becomes more active when you name things clearly. When you do not name them, your emotional brain takes over. Everything becomes a storm. But when you separate feelings from facts, the storm becomes easier to read. The second thing is to look for patterns, not one moment. One strange answer does not always mean someone is lying. People get tired. People get nervous. People explain badly. But repeated behavior is different. If someone keeps hiding things, keeps avoiding questions, keeps making you feel wrong for noticing, that is not confusion anymore. That is a pattern. And patterns are important because the brain learns safety through repetition. One apology does not rebuild trust. Repeated honesty does. One kind moment does not erase repeated disrespect. Repeated change does. Do not judge only the emotional high point. Watch what keeps happening after the conversation ends. The third thing is to ask questions that give truth a chance. If you attack, many people become defensive. The nervous system hears danger and tries to protect the ego. That is when people deny, blame, explain too much, or attack you back. So instead of saying, "You are lying," you can say, "Something feels unclear to me. Can you help me understand what happened?" This kind of question does two things. It gives an honest person room to explain, and it gives a dishonest person enough space to reveal their pattern, because the answer is not the only thing that matters. Their attitude matters too. Do they try to bring clarity, or do they punish you for asking? Do they care that you feel uneasy, or do they only care about escaping the question? That difference tells you a lot. The fourth thing is to listen for repair, not just confession. Some people tell the truth only after they have no other choice. That is not the same as honesty. Honesty is when someone respects reality before they are trapped by it. If someone admits the truth, watch what comes next. Do they take responsibility? Do they understand why it hurt you? Do they change their behavior? Or do they only say sorry so the conversation can end? Your brain does not rebuild trust through words alone. It rebuilds trust through repeated safe behavior. A real repair sounds like, "I understand why this damaged your trust. I should have told you the truth. I will not make you chase clarity again." But even then, the words must become behavior, because your nervous system does not trust promises, it trusts patterns. The fifth thing is to give your waiting a limit. Silence can be wise, but endless silence becomes self-betrayal. There is a point where you are no longer observing. You are delaying your own pain, so give yourself a quiet line. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to make a scene. Just tell yourself, "If this pattern continues, I will stop arguing with my own reality." This helps because the brain feels safer when it knows there is a next step. Without a next step, you stay trapped in watching. With a next step, you return to yourself. You stop making their honesty the only path to your peace. And that is important, because some people will never give you the clean truth. Some people will only give you pieces. Some will lie until you stop asking. Some will act hurt that you noticed. Some will make you feel cruel for needing clarity. But your peace cannot depend on someone else becoming honest. Sometimes the pattern is the answer. Sometimes the repeated silence is the answer. Sometimes the way they lie tells you more than the truth ever could. This does not mean you become cold. It means you become clear. You can still be kind. You can still be calm. You can still give people room to be human. But you do not have to keep giving your trust to someone who keeps making reality feel unsafe. Think of it like holding a glass of water. Trust is the water. A lie is not just a crack in the glass. It makes you wonder how many cracks were already there. You can repair some cracks, but only if both people are willing to hold the glass carefully. If you are the only one protecting it, your hands will get tired. And maybe that is what your silence has been trying to tell you. You are tired. Not because you are too sensitive, but because your mind has been doing the work that honesty should have done. You have been reading tone, reading timing, reading excuses, reading distance, reading every small change in someone who could have simply told the truth. You are not broken for noticing. You are not foolish for waiting. Maybe you waited because you still had hope. Maybe you wanted them to choose honesty on their own. Maybe you needed to see clearly before you walked away emotionally. That makes sense. But once you see the pattern, you do not need to keep reopening the same wound for more evidence. You are allowed to trust what repeated behavior has already shown you. You are allowed to stop asking your intuition to prove itself forever. You are allowed to leave some lies unanswered. Because sometimes the strongest response is not exposing the lie. Sometimes it is quietly choosing not to live inside it anymore. The lie may reveal them, but what you do after it reveals how deeply you are ready to respect yourself.